Have you ever felt like you were at the end of the road, unsure of what the future holds? The story of Ruth is one of unwavering faith, loyalty, and God's redeeming love. A story that shows us that no matter how uncertain life may seem, hope and a brighter future are always within reach. Join us as we explore this inspiring tale from the Bible, a story that speaks of perseverance, grace, and the power of faith. This is the story of Ruth, a journey of faith, loyalty, and redemption. The story begins in the time of the Judges, during a severe famine that struck the land of Bethlehem in Judah. Elimelech and his wife Naomi, along with their 2 sons, made the difficult decision to leave their homeland and seek refuge in the land of Moab. Moab was a foreign land, one with different customs and beliefs, but in their desperation, Elimelech hoped that this new land would provide for his family. But little did they know that their journey would lead them into even greater hardship. Ruth chapter 1 verse 1. In the days when the judges ruled, there was a famine in the land. So a man from Bethlehem in Judah, together with his wife and 2 sons, went to live for a while in the country of Moab. While in Moab, tragedy struck the family. Elimelech passed away, leaving Naomi to raise her 2 sons alone in a foreign land. Despite the heartache, Naomi found solace in her sons, who both eventually married Moabite women, Orpah and Ruth. But the heartache did not end there. After 10 years, both of Naomi's sons also passed away, leaving her devastated and without protection in a patriarchal society where a woman's survival was closely tied to the men in her life. Ruth chapter 1 verses 3 to 5. Now Elimelech, Naomi's husband, died, and she was left with her 2 sons. They married Moabite women, one named Orpah and the other Ruth. After they had lived there about 10 years, both Mahlon and Chilion also died, and Naomi was left without her 2 sons and her husband. With nothing left in Moab, Naomi decided to return to Bethlehem, having heard that the Lord had blessed her homeland with food once again. As she prepared to leave, she urged her daughters-in-law to return to their own families and start new lives. Naomi, tearfully, "Return, my daughters. Why would you come with me? Am I going to have any more sons, who could become your husbands? No, my daughters, it is more bitter for me than for you, because the Lord's hand has turned against me." Orpah weeps, kisses Naomi goodbye, and returns home. Ruth, however, clings to Naomi, her eyes filled with determination. Ruth, "Don't urge me to leave you or to turn back from you. Where you go, I will go, and where you stay, I will stay. Your people will be my people and your God my God." Ruth chapter 1 verses 16 to 17. But Ruth replied, "Don't urge me to leave you or to turn back from you. Where you go I will go, and where you stay I will stay. Your people will be my people and your God my God." In that moment, Ruth made a life-changing decision. She chose to leave everything behind, her home, her family, and her gods, to follow Naomi and embrace the God of Israel. It was an act of profound loyalty and faith. Arriving in Bethlehem with nothing but the clothes on their backs, Ruth took the initiative to provide for Naomi by gleaning in the fields during the barley harvest. It was here that Ruth's story took an unexpected turn, as she unknowingly began gleaning in the fields of Boaz, a wealthy landowner and a relative of Naomi. Boaz, to his workers, "Who is this young woman?" Worker, "She is the Moabite who came back with Naomi from Moab." Boaz, kindly, to Ruth, "My daughter, listen to me. Don't go and glean in another field and don't go away from here. Stay here with the women who work for me. I've heard about all you've done for your mother-in-law." Ruth chapter 2 verse 12. May the Lord repay you for what you have done. May you be richly rewarded by the Lord, the God of Israel, under whose wings you have come to take refuge. Boaz showed great kindness to Ruth, not only because she was Naomi's relative but because he admired her loyalty, faith, and hard work. Little did Ruth know that Boaz would become a pivotal part of her story. Naomi, with hope in her eyes, Boaz is a relative of ours. Tonight, he will be winnowing barley. Wash, put on perfume, and dress in your best clothes. Go down to the threshing floor, but don't let him know you are there until he has finished eating and drinking." Ruth followed Naomi's guidance and, in an act of humility, lay at Boaz's feet, a sign of seeking his protection as a redeemer. Boaz, awakened, surprised but gentle, "The Lord bless you. You have not run after younger men, whether rich or poor. I will do for you all you ask." Ruth chapter 3 verses 10 to 11. "The Lord bless you, my daughter. This kindness is greater than that which you showed earlier. You have not run after the younger men, whether rich or poor. And now, my daughter, don't be afraid. I will do for you all you ask." Boaz took on the role of the kinsman redeemer, fulfilling the law and redeeming not only the land but also Ruth's future. In doing so, he secured a new life for her and Naomi. Ruth, once a foreigner and a widow, became the great-grandmother of King David, an ancestor of Jesus Christ. Ruth's story is one of redemption, not just in the earthly sense but in the eternal sense as well. From humble beginnings, Ruth's faithfulness and loyalty were honored by God, and her legacy became woven into the very lineage of Christ. Ruth chapter 4 verses 14 to 15. "The women said to Naomi, 'Praise be to the Lord, who this day has not left you without a guardian redeemer. May he become famous throughout Israel. No matter how difficult our circumstances, God is always working behind the scenes to redeem and restore.'" Ruth's journey shows us that faith, loyalty, and love will always lead to something greater than we can imagine. Trust in God's plan. Are you facing a season of uncertainty? Remember Ruth's story, and trust that God has a plan for your life, one of hope, redemption, and a future beyond your wildest dreams. Share this message with someone who needs to hear it, and let's keep spreading the powerful story of faith. Subscribe for more inspiring stories from the Bible.